22 pickup? Care to let me in on the secret?
Kid, I'm about to let everyone in on the secret. Focus your fire on the Jedi!
First of all, the thumbnail you chose is for Season 4, even though this is supposed to be a video on the first episode. Second of all, in this intro, you named this episode Pilot instead of Spark of Rebellion, even though that's what you called it in the title of this video. Wow, we're already at a bad start here.
Show contains no opening scroll of expositional backstory. Wait, am I sinning the show for not having a reading sim? Has Star Wars made that opening indelible enough that its absence is jarring when you see a Star Destroyer on screen? Up is down, left is right, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
All that to say, Jeremy sends something he likes cliche.
All officers to the main square. This is a code red emergency.
How could Ezra know their lingo would be code red instead of, hey Jack Weeds, we need backup at the Quadrant Baloney?
Ezra has been living on his own for years now, and the Empire has been in charge his entire life. So it wouldn't surprise me that he's memorized the lines by now.
It's your lucky day, Lothal scum. You two, come with us.
Yeah, but you just called up to your bosses and said...
I'm bringing in a citizen under a charge of treason.
So how exactly will you explain where he went? If you just said something like he didn't have a permit or something, I doubt anyone would care. But you said treason. That probably won't go unnoticed.
Dude, Ezra just called a code red. If it was real, that would mean this random citizen that was just accused of treason should be the least of their worries.
Wait, what are you doing?
Hey, the kid's gotta eat.
Even if he's a thief, he's a lovable thief, and he'll still get a beautiful woman by his side and make a lot of important friends. This is also known as the Aladdin solution.
Okay, by the time you uploaded this video, the entire series has been out for a while now. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you haven't seen the entire series yet, but what I won't give you is making this assumption, even though you don't know if that's what happened. And having seen the whole show myself, I know that Ezra does make friends, but he ends it single, so this sin is for an outdated statement.
Sabine is facing away from Kanan, and Nosferatu, or Zed, has his eyes closed when the light pat signal happens. This means the signal is entirely dependent on hearing Kanan's hand physically slap against thigh fabric in the middle of a busy street. Whose dumb idea was this, and why is anyone impressed?
Are you saying both Zeb and Sabine didn't see Kanan arrive here before he patted his thigh? I know that you're hard of hearing, but are you saying they're blind too?
If the big guy catches you, he'll end you.
He won't.
Yeah, that's because Sabine doesn't know how good Ezra is and believes that Kanan will end him, not knowing that he will begin to admire his creativity. I can't give you the benefit of the doubt for not having watched at least this one episode.
Who are these guys?
Better question, are they skilled marksmen who can take out 4 baddies while speedily riding through an alleyway? Or just lucky? Because moments ago, they couldn't shoot a trooper 5 yards away.
Are you just not aware that Kanan Jarrus is a Jedi? Something that's revealed in this very episode?
Also, it's like the writer said, hey, remember that great speed bike scene in the forest in Return of the Jedi? Let's do that, but this time make it.
But why is this speeder chase bad? You just say it's bad, but don't elaborate. I can't even agree with you because you don't explain yourself. Oh, wait, this is TVSins we're talking about here, and are connected to TVSins, a channel with millions of subscribers. Obviously, that's enough for them to be trusted, right?
Okay, you caught me. I give up. What the? Just kidding.
Mid-action sequence jokes.
This has literally been a thing since the first Star Wars movie.
Can't get out that way.
Looks like you managed to cut off our only escape route.
Maybe you'd like it back in your cell, Your Highness. Now what?
Some rescue! You came in here, didn't you have a plan for getting out?
Eat the brains, sweetheart! Get in there! Get in there, you big furry hole! I don't care what you smell! Wonderful girl! I'm gonna kill her or I'm beginning to like her!
If Kanan catches that kid, I'm gonna end him.
He won't.
Because Kanan decides to bring Ezra with them?
Nothing would thrill me more than tossing you out while in flight.
Man, this character Vinnie Jones is so hard, I'm half expecting Guy Ritchie to sue.
Jeremy makes a pop culture reference that
I mean, it must be kind of nice to be able to buy a pack of boxer briefs for a headscarf.
this super lame joke.
Next time they make a move, we'll be waiting for them to snuff out that spark before it catches fire.
What was that? I was so distracted by this Magneto helmet beard that I lost my ability to concentrate on the show. I understand that animation style is a choice, but was that really the right choice to make? That beard is clamping down on his jaw and it's triggering my TMJ, damn it.
You're really criticizing a stylistic choice. This show has gotten some hate, but this is not one of the reasons.
Lived on Lothal my whole life, never been here.
The Imperials don't advertise it.
Locals call it Tarkin Town.
It was called District 9 at one point, but then an Earthling infatuated with hobbits and elves decided to sue hobbits.
Jeremy makes a pop culture reference that isn't a cinema.
We got the goods and took a bite out of the Empire.
Did you though? Not downplaying, but you stole a few guns, some food, and maybe killed a few soldiers. All things the Empire could replace in the time it took you to get to Tarkin Town.
No, you're still downplaying here. Also, how did you misspell Tarkin's name?
How does no one ever burn their face off when they turn on a lightsaber for the first time? He didn't even know what it was.
You know, you could literally use this same logic with Luke when he turned on that lightsaber in episode 4. This is Star Wars we're talking about. It already has a lot of insanely unrealistic things about it, but this is the stupidest thing you could find.
I know you're not gonna believe me, but it's like this thing wanted me to take it.
You're right. I don't believe you.
But why don't you? Since we find out Kanan is a Jedi, he should absolutely believe and know that Ezra has enough of the Force in him for this statement to be accurate. Also, sinning myself for the fact that I know that with certainty.
Even though you send yourself, I'll still do it too. You are once again feigning ignorance. In the same scene, after Ezra gives the lightsaber back to Kanan, Kanan says, "Now we'll see." And then later, when he sees that Ezra opened up the holocron, Hera says he passed the test. So you're right, Kanan does believe Ezra here, but he is simply lying, just so he can test Ezra and see how powerful he is with the Force.
We don't have time to take him home anyway. We need to move now. I'll keep an eye on him.
Great, but what about the meeting he just interrupted? Oh, that wasn't important.
You do know they have comms, right? Kanan could just fill Hera in later.
Doing okay, kid?
You kidding?
Swimming motions do not propel you forward in zero gravity, idiot.
And sound and fire don't exist in space. And there's no mystical power that allows you to move things with your mind. And spaceships haven't colonized Mars yet. Do you get it? Star Wars is fantasy, not sci-fi.
Where are the Wookiees?
No Wookiees.
Same questions asked at the final Return of the Jedi script reading somehow made it into this episode. They just left out the "and what the f are Ewoks?"
Nah, the Ewoks are full of merchandising potential, so dollar signs popped in their eyes and they quickly nodded their heads.
Sorry, kid!
He's not.
Yes, he is, considering right when they leave, he slumps down on the floor, clearly regretting leaving him behind. You are lying again.
The whole thing was a setup.
That's what I thought about the prequels, but they ended up being actual canon, so you might need to double check, Kanan.
Hey, the prequels are great, man. Much better than anything Disney has given us. Well, except Andor.
And of course, the only thing I managed to hold on to is this worthless piece of...
Of course, the guards just happened to miss the easily accessible chunky cube strapped somewhere on your back.
Considering stormtroopers are famous for missing stuff...
They'll be waiting for us. We can't save him.
And honestly, why should you even want to? He tried to steal from you, and then eventually he actually does steal from you. If this video hasn't gotten it across yet, Ezra sucks.
Yeah, but they got him in this mess, so they have to get him out. Not to mention, Ezra only really steals so he can survive. This is what separates the rebels from the Empire.
Ezra is strolling around the enemy ship and accidentally-ing his way to his belongings. Next thing you know, he'll stumble upon a game-changing piece of information and...
Why are you assuming Ezra came here by accident? This seems like a decent place to keep something like this. And this is the armory. Of course there'd be a helmet there.
They came back!
You're wearing a massive helmet designed to protect the head from damage. I don't understand how that could have hurt, but I'm glad it did.
I'm pretty sure that's not how helmets work. Also sending something you like cliche.
Order all stormtroopers to converge on the lower hangar. I'll meet them there.
This is Trooper LS-123, reporting intruders in the upper hangar. Sir, I believe the lower hangar is a diversion.
Ezra is either stupid lucky at lingo and trooper tech, or he has acquired serious knowledge in his short life. I don't know if the show gets around to explaining this, but for now, it's a distraction and annoying.
No, it's the latter. He's acquired enough of this knowledge since he's been living on his own for years and learned to survive.
Here's an idea. Open the ramp directly in front of a squad of enemies who will shoot directly at us. No, don't stay on the ship and use our massive firepower to destroy anyone in our way. Leaping directly into danger is the best way.
Well, stormtroopers can't hit anything anyway.
You'll be okay. I've got him.
Good guys shoot and bad guys die. Bad guys shoot and good guys don't die. The end.
Okay, yes, I have been going along with the memes about how stormtroopers suck at aiming, but I actually don't 100% believe that. And here's a scene that proves they occasionally hit their target. So shouldn't you remove a sin for that? No? Okay.
Freddy Prince Jedi.
Sinning this scene.
Wilhelm scream.
Sinning the Wilhelm scream.
Look who's talking.
Boss Baby. Baby Geniuses. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Oh, sorry. Thought we were naming movies where babies could talk.
You really should have left this joke in the drafts.
So, I guess you dropped me off next?
Yeah. Finally, right?
Right.
This will they or won't they drop him off bullshit is annoying and pointless. This is a pilot where we know Ezra is the main character and therefore we know he ends up sticking with this crew and fighting alongside them for many seasons to come. So why not build up some suspense somewhere it's actually warranted?
Because it has to be Ezra's choice to join the crew. And is the fact that you already know he's going to join them really a sin? Is Oppenheimer sinful because we know that he succeeds at creating a nuclear bomb?
Agent Callus, you did well to call.
Was this supposed to mean something to me? Or do I need to watch 7 seasons of another show to understand what the that means? Because if that's the case, then you Star Wars Rebels. You so hard.
No, you simply needed to pay attention. This episode literally begins with a prologue that shows Darth Vader explain that this Inquisitor has a mission of hunting all the remaining Jedi. Dude, that was about 40 minutes ago. How did you already forget that?